Hey, what's up guys? My name is Alec Garza. Thanks for clicking on this video. It is the end of the year. 2019 is coming to a close, as well as this decade. And it was an exciting year and exciting decade for film. But right now we're going to concentrate on my favorite 10 films of 2019. And before I even begin, I want to talk about some honorable mentions and talk about movies I have not seen yet. So, movies I haven't seen yet that could possibly be on this list are Parasite, Uncut Gems, and Ad Astra. There might be another movie I'm forgetting, but for the most part, those are the three that were on my radar that I did not get to see this year. I will be reviewing those soon because I have seen those films in a few people's lists. And for the honorable mentions, I will put John Wick 3 in there, El Camino, and The Long Shot, which stars Seth Rogen, that funny movie. I don't know, I really like that movie, but it's not my top 10 favorites, but it's one of my favorites. So with all that out of the way, let's get right into number 10. Now for number 10, don't hate me, but we have Zombieland Double Tap. This was just a hilarious sequel that was done so well with so much care that really added to the first one. I prefer this one over the first one now. It was just super fun to watch with my friends, and I don't remember laughing more in the theater this year. I had a lot of fun with Zombieland Double Tap, and I think it's one of the better comedies of the year, one of the best comedies of the year, not better. Moving right along, we have at number 9, SpiderMan Far From Home. You know, how do you follow up the Avengers? Marvel had a tough task to pick up the pieces after Endgame. All things considered, they honored Tony Stark's legacy. They added some new dimensions to the Spider-Man lore and to his character, and they really changed the game with that ending. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with that. But it was a super fun movie, and I really enjoyed it, especially after watching Endgame. You're just like, man, how do you go from such a big spectacle to just one superhero story? And I think they did a great job in pulling that off, so it deserves number 9 on my list. Wow, we're moving pretty quick. So for number 8, I will have to put Toy Story 4. And I feel like a lot of people forgot about Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4 was not necessary at all. Toy Story 3 was completely fine ending the trilogy, and I was super happy with that. But when Toy Story 4 came out, I was like, why not? Let's just go watch it. And guess what? It was awesome. I think it was a great epilogue. I think it had a great story to tell. I don't think they were just cashing in. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, especially the new character, Forky. He was just hilarious. And it asked a lot of existential questions. It was deep enough for the adults, but it was fun enough for the kids. And there was a lot of moments where I was laughing out loud. So I give it number 8. So moving along, number 7, we have The Lighthouse. The Lighthouse is fucked up. No way around it, no way about it. It's very confusing and very awesome at the same time. I really like the dialogue. It's dialogue driven. It's for cinephiles. It's for people who love movies. It's for people who love weird stories and really like The Witch. It's not for everyone for sure, but it is one of those weird, just weird adventure, trippy type films that really just make you, what's going on? But it's super exhilarating at the same time. It's like the Dark Souls almost of film. And yeah, I don't know if you're gonna get that reference. I don't really even understand that reference, but yeah, that's basically it. It's just one of those films that some people are gonna love, some people are not gonna get, and some people are gonna hate. And I don't recommend everyone to watch it. If you like The Witch and if you like slow movies and you like weird dialogue, then The Lighthouse is worth it. But it was filmed very well. It was beautifully filmed, and it really had me in awe the whole time. So for that, I give it number 7. Number 6, and I don't see this movie in a lot of people's lists either, is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Not Quentin Tarantino's best work, but very fun nonetheless, and I actually enjoyed it because of the crowd-pleasing ending. Yes, it is not historically accurate, but it is just a fun movie if you like Hollywood, if you love filmmaking, if you like the behind the scenes, if you like dealing with the actors, and if you like history. There's a lot of history in there, and it's very interesting to see how the Hollywood studio system worked, and the actors and the stunt doubles, and there's just some funny, weird, random scenes in it that are very enjoyable, and I loved the ending, and I remember just cheering and feeling super good because that's what we wish happened, you know? And some people can hate that for the movie, some people can like that. I liked it. It hit the right note for me, so I think it deserves number 6 on my list. Moving along, we're in the top 5. The big 5, it's going down. Let's get it. So, at number 5, we have The Irishman, which I just finished like yesterday. I wanted to get that movie done. It was super long, 3 hours 30 minutes, but damn was it awesome to watch. I love the details. I think Martin Scorsese loves the details too, because he didn't leave a single detail out, it seems. I also really liked the performances from all the actors, especially Al Pacino. Robert De Niro had a very subdued kind of character, so you didn't really see a lot of cathartic moments for him, but I think he played the character overall well, and I really love Joe Pesci. It's good to see him back on the screen. There were a lot of intense scenes. There were a lot of scenes where it was just, wow, the morality of these guys, of these characters is just fucked. And I really enjoyed seeing that side. We haven't had a good mafia movie in a while, and I love the mafia. I'm obsessed with the Italian mafia. They're super interesting, and every story is interesting in the mafia. And so it was also really cool how they showed everyone dying, basically. Like, they'll show you a character, he might not die in that scene, but they'll tell you how he dies later in the real life, which was really interesting and informative. It shows you that these guys, yes, they live like a fast life and they're having all these nice things, however, they pay a deep cost by dying young. And our main character doesn't die young, and it's very interesting to see the dynamic of that between living out your life and dying young to crime. But overall, Jimmy Hoffa's story was involved deeply in this film, and I thought it was very interesting, although maybe controversial because some people don't really know what happened to Jimmy Hoffa. This is Frank Sheeran's depiction of what happened and his story, I believe. I don't know too much, but there are different stories going on, but this movie tells a certain story, and it all revolves around the Irishman, Robert De Niro's character, and for the terrific job they did, I give it at number 5 on my list. Moving right along, this is a movie I didn't think I was going to like that much, but damn it, I'm so glad I liked it. Number 3 goes to The King. Oh, whoa. Fuck. Number 3 goes to The King, and I haven't seen this movie on anybody's list either, but The King was fantastic for me. Like The Lighthouse, if you like dialogue and if you like slower films, this movie is perfect. This movie is awesome. I just love the cinematography. I love Timothy Chalamet, whatever the hell his name is, and Robert Pattinson's performances. They were super cool, super interesting to see the realism between the knights fighting. You know, we don't see that too much. It's more glorified and romanticized, but in this movie, they really dial it down and add the weight that is involved with these huge sets of armors and these huge weapons. It's really interesting how they filmed it. Every shot is beautiful, the pacing is different, the way they talk is different, but I loved it. It had this sense of epicness, and it had a sort of Shakespearean level to it all, and I really enjoyed it, and the morals and the lessons and themes that it's trying to portray. Really awesome film, and it might not be historically accurate, but the story itself is a fun story. And for all those reasons, that is why The King is number 4 on my list. We're in the top 3 now, so can you guess which ones I'm missing? What films am I missing that you think should be in the top 3? I'm excited to hear what you're thinking right now, and I'll give you a hint. It's not this movie. Okay, so at number 3 we have Knives Out, which I was so surprised was super entertaining for me. I love mystery films. I love playing detective when I'm watching a movie, and this movie really requires you to pay attention to every detail and to have fun with the hypotheses that go on in your mind. Is hypothesis is the right word? Whatever, we're gonna roll with it, all right? Hypothesize who the killer is. What's really interesting about this film, no spoilers, but you find out a lot of information within the first half of the movie, and then the second half is like still crazy and still interesting and still like, okay, whoa, we know this now, but what's gonna happen next? It's awesome to see the film do that, to be able to give us a lot of answers up front but still have more questions for us on the back end. And it's super funny. I love Daniel Craig's performance. I love a lot of the quirky, weird stuff that's involved in the movie. Like the main character, she throws up anytime she thinks of lying or lies, and it was a really funny random thing to have in the film. And Daniel Craig's accent is another funny random thing, and just all the actors, the ensemble cast, they're just random actors. Like, who put these people together? I don't know, but I'm so glad they did. Like Rian Johnson, congrats to you. You really did an awesome whodunit mystery story, and it also has a lot to say about family dynamics and money and how greed can corrupt. But overall, it was a very entertaining film. I actually watched it twice because I enjoyed it so much. So that is why it gets to number 3 on my list. All right, top 2. It's getting crazy. So now we got number 3 down, Knives Out. What's the top 2? I don't want to piss nobody off, but number 2 goes to, you get it? The Joker. Oh wait, chill, Joker. No my bad, Joker. Goes to Joker. Joaquin Phoenix killed it. It's over. I mean, if he doesn't get an Oscar for this, I don't know. It will kind of be very upsetting and weird, because the last guy who played Joker, who did just as an amazing job, got an Oscar. So I think these two guys really did something great and special with the Joker character, Heath Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix. But Joaquin Phoenix really went like almost the extra mile to kill himself, basically, to be this character. It was crazy how much he laughed, how skinny he was, how weird looking he was. It was fantastic. It was exactly what I would expect from him playing Joker. But what I didn't expect was how interesting and how open-ended the whole film was. I wanted it to be like that, but I didn't expect it because it was an origin story. So I was like, oh man, they're gonna tell us exactly how the Joker became the Joker. Like, that's not really that fun. I mean, it's better to be a mystery. But the movie does so much to imply that not everything you see is real. And we don't really know the Joker's origins in a way. This might be all fabricated in his head, like I believe. I think some of the things happened and some of the things didn't. Most of the things didn't. I think he was just locked up. But whatever, it's your interpretation. I have a whole Joker video that you can watch if you want to hear more about my theory. But the Joker was just fantastic, beautifully paced, and beautifully filmed. Just well acted, perfectly acted and well crafted, and deserves number 2. If not, it would get number 1 if it wasn't for this next movie that really is probably the movie of the decade for me. And if you don't know what it is right now, you might not know me. But my number 1 movie of the year and of the decade is... Fuck it, I own it. Let me grab it. This bad boy. Avengers Endgame, ladies and gentlemen. I think I knocked some stuff down. It's all good. Avengers Endgame is my number 1 film of 2019 and my number 1 film of the decade. It was just fantastic. It was everything you would want it to be if you were a Marvel fan. I think with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they've been building up for years, for a decade, to this movie, and they stuck the landing. They stuck it. Look at this shit. This shit didn't even know what the fuck they were doing. Marvel Avengers Endgame knew what they were doing. There was the perfect amount of fan service, the perfect amount of entertainment for everyone, the perfect amount of humor, the perfect amount of high stakes. People actually died in this shit. There ain't no healing bullshit like there was in freaking Rise of Skywalker. No, people actually die. There is weight. There are consequences. There are stakes. Thanos was strong as hell in this movie. I thought we already saw the worst of him, but he came back even stronger. And there were surprises everywhere. The movie was fantastic. And I remember seeing the first trailer and the couple trailers and thinking, well, this is kind of boring. What? There's no wow moment. There's nothing. They saved all of that. That's genius. They saved all of the wow moments for you to actually see the film. And I watched it in IMAX, and I just remember sobbing, crying with everybody in the theater that day. There was like 600 people in that theater, a huge IMAX theater, and everyone was just sobbing when he said, "I am Iron Man." And that is why it's my number 1 movie of the year, number 1 movie of the decade. Maybe one of my favorite films of all time. And you can hate me for that, but I just love Marvel. I love the comic books growing up. I actually read them. In high school, I would walk around with comic books, reading them. People thought I was cool, which was surprising because, there's always a stigma with comic book nerds being nerds. But nah, like they thought it was cool. They're like, dude, what is that? Let me read it, because it tells you awesome stories. They're just cool art too. So Marvel Avengers Endgame, they could have messed up so easily. They could have fucked it up, but they didn't. There was nothing to mess up. They just wrote it so perfectly. They took so much care. They took so much time. It's like they knew exactly where they wanted to end up. And for that perfect execution of that idea, they get hats off. They get 10 out of 10. They get every appraisal I can give it. I am so in love with Marvel Avengers Endgame, and I'm so proud and impressed of the Marvel team because they killed it. They just did the damn thing. And it's inspiring for other filmmakers, I hope. And it's inspiring for other sagas to emulate or to learn how they did it and how important it is to have foresight, to know where you're going with the story and to know your characters and to know how the fans feel about the characters and to not go against the characters but to enhance them and to also bring back callbacks to what their flaws were originally. Maybe they solved that flaw but then it comes back up. Whatever, I'm going too deep into it. Marvel Avengers Endgame is number 1. Thank you guys. That's my top 10 list. Don't hate me. I'm just gonna run through this list one last time. Number 10, we have Zombieland Double Tap. Number 9, we have SpiderMan Far From Home. Number 8, we have Toy Story 4. Number 7, we have The Lighthouse. Number 6, we have Once Upon a Time. And number 5, we have The Irishman. Number 4, we have The King. Number 3, we have Knives Out. Number 2, we have The Joker. And number 1, Avengers Endgame. Woo! Feels good to make this list. I'm so glad to be done with it. Now I gotta go watch 3 more movies and then I can be completely done with 2019. If there's any other movies I forgot to watch or that I haven't seen or that you think should have been on my list, please let me know in the comments below. I love talking movies, and honestly I really love every movie, even bad movies. I kind of like them unless they really piss me off. Huh? Okay. But yeah, that's it. My name is Alec Garza. Please subscribe, comment below anything you want. Just say hello. I don't even care. Say that I suck, whatever. As long as you're commenting, it makes me feel good. Anywho, my name is Alec Garza. Y'all have a great end to your year and a great beginning to the new year. And I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Please share this video if you're a real one. Anywho, that's it for now. Cheers. Oh, but wait, there's more. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, and so I just have to show y'all this because if I don't, I will regret it. And I feel like now's the time to show it. Well, actually, I want to make a movie review of Star Wars. Maybe I should show it then. Whatever, fuck it. Boom! That's not right. This is my lightsaber. Can you guess whose lightsaber it is? Because it's a fucking weird color. Oh, shit. Oh shit. Okay, I'm done. But yeah, this is my lightsaber. Just want to show you. Yeah, my room's kind of small. I got a lot of shit in it, that's why. Anyway, well, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.